Over the past few weeks, I had the opportunity to attend another iftar ceremony in Beruwala, while Mr. Basil Rajapaksa attended one in Galle. And former President Mahinda Rajapaksa hosted one at his official residence in Colombo. It is truly a pleasure for us to be part of these events during the holy month of Ramadan and to be with our friends in the Muslim community. Honorable Mahinda Rajapaksa is a long-standing friend of the Muslim community locally as well as internationally. In 1970s, as a young member of the parliament, he was the first chairman of the Sri Lanka-Palestine Friendship Foundation. When he was elected president, he inherited a country that was devastated by 30-year-long terrorist war. All of you are aware of the immense hardships that the entire country suffered due to terrorism. The Muslim community, especially in the north and the east, was severely affected. As mentioned earlier, the LTT drove 75,000 Muslims out of the north virtually overnight in 1990s. Many thousands more lived in constant fear in the eastern province, with mosques being attacked from time to time and massacres being carried out. The first priority of the Rajapaksa government was to defeat this barbaric terrorism and bring peace to Sri Lanka and to the Sri Lankans. I am sure you will remember the suicide bombers, vehicle bombs, claymore mines, and other attacks the LTT carried out on politicians, community leaders, military personnel, and civilians throughout Sri Lanka. To prevent these attacks, it was necessary to take some extreme actions as precautions. That is why the security forces and police set up roadblocks, carried out search operations, and arrested those suspects of terrorist involvement. These actions were not targeted to political opponents or other individuals or groups. It had to be done to prevent terrorism and safeguard the lives of innocent civilians. And as you know, we completed the task to the last letter for the benefit of the citizens of our country. Soon after the war ended, massive development drive took place in the north and the east. All of these efforts by the Rajapaksa administration were for the benefits of the communities living in these areas. With this accelerated reconstruction and development programs in the former conflict areas and the rapid economic growth taking place everywhere after the war, the Rajapaksa administration was leading the Sri Lanka towards a truly bright and prosperous future. A future where the Sinhalese, Tamils, Muslims, and people from all communities could live in harmony, engage in their livelihood freely, educate their children well, adhere to their faith in peace, and follow their customs with dignity. Unfortunately, several forces, both in Sri Lanka and abroad, came together to halt this historic journey. It is no secret that during the last few years of the previous government, there were strong efforts by various parties, both in Sri Lanka and abroad, to drive a wedge between the Mahinda Rajapaksa administration and the Muslim community in Sri Lanka. This was done in very organized manner. The lies that were spread with the community and actions that were instigated to cause unfortunate incidents led to a perception that the Muslim community has a cause to be wary of the Rajapaksa administration. This is very far from the truth. However, those Muslim leaders who worked closely with me and with the former government know very well that we took great care to uphold the security and dignity of the Muslim people under very sensitive circumstances. But sometimes I agree we could have done certain things differently, not giving opportunity for those opportunists. Unfortunately, the false impression created by these lies and such orchestrated incidents was so strong that we were unable to convince many in the Muslim community about the sincerity of the Rajapaksa administration. This was a trust deficit that contributed to the unfortunate defeat of President Mahinda Rajapaksa in 2015 and halted the rapid progress Sri Lanka was making as a nation under the Rajapaksa government. But that is the past. Soon, we may have another opportunity to continue that journey of progress. We have engaged in continuous dialogue with the religious leaders and the elders of the Muslim community, and will continue to discuss the issues that trouble you, the fears you have, and the measures that can be taken to resolve them. The intention of the Rajapaksa government was always to create a nation where Sinhalese, Muslims, Tamils, and people from every community in this country can get on with their lives knowing they are safe. To build a country where people can work and prosper in their livelihoods, ensure a bright future for their children, practice their religion and customs in peace, and live their lives with dignity. If we can all come together once again, I am sure we will be able to achieve this. That will be to the lasting benefit of all Sri Lankans living in this country today and for all our future generations. It is something I hope we can all work towards. Finally, let me express my gratitude once again to the organizers of this iftar ceremony for having invited me, and thank you all for your participation. Thank you very much.